We already is. It's Hazard. We're both sweating. Hazard pay. No, that's covered. We don't have any problem there. Ken Trahan, Danny Ream from Slidell. Salmen hosting Lakeshore District 8-4A Championship on the line over the next couple of days between these two teams. Let's take a look at the batting order for the visiting Lakeshore Titans under the direction of Greg Battistella with a record of 20-11, 5-1 in District 8-4A. Jacob Bernard is the center fielder. Frank Christopher in right field. Preston Bone in left. Clark Bush, the first baseman. Jacob Singletary does the catching. Christian Westcott at shortstop. Cameron Busey, the pitcher. Matt Sauber, the second baseman. And Brent Rappold is at third base for the Titans. And they will oppose the right-handed offerings of Andre Beaudoin. Danny?
Well, he's got a record of 6-3 on the season, Ken. 44 1/3 innings pitched, 49 strikeouts, so more than one strikeout every inning pitched. That shows you he's got the ability to put guys away.
Three-pitch guy, obviously, low 80s fastball.
Yeah, low 80s fastball, 12-6 curve, so he's got all the makings of a good high school arm.
Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Salmen Spartans. Left to right outfield, Rushing, Degree, Bentley. Around the infield, Smith, Talamo, Nico, and Smith. Jackson doing the catching, and Beaudoin on the mound. Getting ready to get this one started as the infielders meet at the mound. Kitchen's the third baseman there along with all the others. Salmen in their pinstripe look. Little black stripe up the buttons, black caps, black stockings, and pinstripes are the rage today because Lakeshore is wearing some pinstripe pants as well to go with their black tops and silver numerals. Weather conditions, well, in a word, it's nice. Partly cloudy, 79 degrees. Wind out of the southeast at 12, so it's a factor blowing across toward left field. We're ready to roll. Jacob Bernard leads it off, and the first pitch of the game from Beaudoin hit him in the backside. So the first pitch results in a base runner, and we're underway as Bernard goes to first base. And as we mentioned, Lakeshore, a very good hitting team, Danny. Salmen does not want to give them free base runners.
No, you don't want to give those free base runners. They always come back to haunt you. It never fails, so that leadoff hit by pitch right there could pay dividends for Lakeshore here early in the game in the top of the first. Because really, as we spoke about, the big thing for Lakeshore is going to be scoring runs because Salmen has had trouble doing that. So if they can jump out to an early lead, that would go a long way.
Grant Kristoff for the batter, right-handed swinger, 426 average. A lead by Bernard. Pitch is away for ball one. Kristoff, as mentioned, really good at 426, 22 runs driven in as Beaudoin stares in at him. Good speed at first, and Bernard with his lead draws a throw and is back. Bernard with 13 stolen bases and 17 attempts on the season. Pretty interesting ballpark dimension-wise. We'll tell you about that. Here it comes. And again, away, and it's 2-0. Beaudoin trying to settle in a bit here. First three out of the zone. Greg Battistella coaching at third base for the Titans. And again, away. So 4 straight bad ones from Beaudoin. Starts out scuffling just a bit.
Beaudoin needs to settle in here. You definitely don't want to put first and second, nobody out to start the game.
Christopher sure to take a strike here, and he does. Throw to first, runner back. 3 balls and a strike. Now we'll see if Greg Battistella wants to put something on with a good hitter and a good base runner as well. Runner not going. Ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. As Christopher trots to first, and now Greg Battistella with a decision to make with a really good hitter. His top hitter coming to the plate, and Preston Bone. It is a tough decision because the bunt obviously is in order, but this is your best hitter.
Yeah, it's your best hitter, and it's the first inning, so you're trying to put runs on the board here early on. So he's in there as a disciplined, good hitter, trying to get a pitch that he can handle and do something with here, but Beaudoin definitely not where he wanted to be here in the top of the first with first and second, nobody out.
Runners away first and second. And now the shortstop will come in, Talamo. Have a word or two with his struggling pitcher, Beaudoin. This is as much to settle him down as anything else.
Yeah, it's a big game. I mean, you know it's on the line, a district championship, playoff implications at this point in the season, so you just need to settle the nerves and play your game the way you can.
Greg Battistella, the veteran coach, looking on with his new position as the head coach at Lakeshore, enjoying every moment. Bone takes a strike. Preston Bone with a gaudy .473 batting average into play this afternoon. No homers, 22 driven in. Bernard second, Christopher first. Good speed aboard. Nice block. Runner breaks. Have a play. He's beat. That's a big out recorded at third base, especially since the back end runner stays at first. And I understand aggressive base running, but with a pitcher scuffling and your best hitter at the plate, Danny, that's a critical mistake.
Yeah, that's a lifeline for Salmen right there to get that out, to get an out on the bases. Anytime your pitcher is struggling, anytime you can give him an out on the bases like that, that's huge. Now he's a ground ball away from getting out of this. I mean, it's amazing how that one play right there completely has changed this inning.
And a strike called, and suddenly Baudouin finding the zone, and Christopher obviously did not pick up on the lead runner going.
Well, it was interesting as well because Baudouin went to his breaking ball to try to find the strike zone. He was getting the breaking ball over, and now it looks like he's got a better feel for the fastball.
On 1-2, down and out, equals the count. Jackson came up looking to throw, but did not.
With
2
one
balls,
down,
2 strikes.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Batt puts a runner in motion to try to take the double play out of order. Breaking ball pitch would be good to run on. There it is.
Breaking ball high, throw to second, not in time, stolen base. For Christopher gets the Titans a runner in scoring position with 1 out, and the count now full on Preston Bone.
Oh, good offensive baseball there by Coach Batt to put that steal on. Kind of felt like he'd go back to the breaking ball, and that's a great pitch to run on. It's very hard to contest that runner at second base when you pick that breaking ball count to swipe the bag on. So
9th
now
stolen base of the year for Christopher. Second baseman standing on the bag. Now peels off. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball struck him out swinging. Great hook there. That's the 12-6 curveball that you spoke of.
Yeah, it's like it's falling off the table. You know, if you're looking at a clock, that ball's just moving straight down from like 12 down to the 6. That's what we mean by that 12-6 break. It's a straight downward break on that breaking ball that Baudouin throws, and now he's battling through this. He's in a good spot, man, on second with 2 outs, trying to erase a little bit of a rocky start.
Clark Rush, cleanup hitter, leads them in RBI, and he took a strike call. Rush at .388 with a home run, 28 driven in. And the second baseman, Nico, will stand on the bag for a while, trying to hold the runner close before peeling off. Straight up, playable. Second baseman wants it and makes the catch. Nico puts it away, no runs, no hits, a runner stranded. We're on to the bottom of the first inning with Salmen coming to the plate in a scoreless ball game. Great opportunity there for Lakeshore by the boards, losing a runner on the base paths. Here's the batting order for the homestanding Salmen Spartans under the direction of Brian Babin, presented by First NBC Bank. Nick Talamo at shortstop, Joey Smith the first baseman, Andre Baudouin the pitcher, Cole Jackson does the catching, Bryce Nico is at second base, Chase Kitchens at third base, Bradley Cruz the DH, Jordan Rushing is in left field, Chad Degree in center field, and McKieran Bentley will play right field, and he's not batting in the lineup this afternoon. They will face the right-handed offerings of Cameron Busey.
Oh, Busey's got a good slider. Coach Batt was talking to us about that before the game, a real tight slider that he likes to throw. 5-1 on the year, so usually when he's on the bump, Lakeshore is in a good position.
The low 80s with his fastball. The defensive alignment for the Titans this afternoon finds Bone in left, Bernard center, Christopher in right, Rappel third, Westcott short, Sauber second with Rush at first, and Singletary doing the catching. Mentioned the interesting dimensions reference earlier, and here's what I'm talking about. Down the left field line, it's 327, 324 down the right field line, slightly shorter, but the wind's blowing across to left here this afternoon, so balls will carry better in that direction. To the gaps, it is a big part, 370 here at Salmen. That's Major League. But to center field, it levels off to 366. I guess the best comparison would be Noel Suarez Stadium in Chalmette, where the center field is shorter than the gaps, although it's shorter than what we have here. Danny, this is a pretty big diamond.
It's a pretty big diamond. They also went with the double wall out in center, so you really got to hit it to get it up and over that center field fence.
That gives it personality. It's a 16-foot fence as compared to the 8-foot fence all around otherwise, which even though it's slightly shorter that way, you got to get it elevated if you want to get it out of here. Nick Talamo will lead it off, the shortstop. Talamo beats it on the ground towards short. West got a high hop. His throw to first in time, 1 pitch, 1 out. Talamo retired on the ground ball to short.
Nice play by Westcott. Moved well up the middle on that. Made it look easy.
Joey Smith, the first baseman.
Now batting number 5.
Will stand in from the left side. Salmen more of the kind of team that has to manufacture runs, get them on, get them over, get them in. First pitch swing again. Westcott has another chance. Charging this one and throwing and in time for the out. Another good play by Westcott as he's shown you his skill early on.
Oh yeah, he looked nice going up the middle, and then that one, slow roller, made him come in and get it. Good job of fielding it cleanly, getting the throw off, and a good pick over at first base for the out.
Now the pitcher, Andre Baudouin. He'll be taking a pitch, won't he?
Try to elongate this inning a little bit.
First pitch and a fast strike. There's your take and there's your strike, so we won't have a record tied here this afternoon. 0-1. And now 0 balls and 2 strikes on Baudouin as Busey has come out throwing nothing but strikes to start this game. Outfield a bit shallow. Baudouin has not homered on the year. 0-2. Towards short. Look at Westcott. He's going to have another chance to throw out the side, which he does. That ties a record. Nothing across in the bottom of the first. We go to the second. No score from Salmen on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905, with locations downtown, in Metairie, and in Mandeville. Joseph A. Bank. On to the second inning we go. Scoreless from Salmen. And the Titans to the plate in the second inning. Had a chance in the first, but ran themselves out of an inning. Jacob Singletary leads it off here in the second. Westcott and Busey to follow. High fastball from Baudouin, his 14th pitch of the game. Singletary, another salty hitter at 365, a home run, 17 driven in. And it's 2-0, just missed up in the zone. Singletary dictates early in the count here. Swinging on 2-0, very aggressive. But that's the kind of team they are, Danny.
Yeah, they like to swing the sticks. They're averaging over 6 runs a game, and that's a reason why. They get in there ready to take their hacks little bit over-aggressive baseball for them in the first inning, help Baudouin get out of that mess.
Now 3-1. Singletary should get a fastball here. Trick is what to do with it. 3-1 to count. Fouled it back. Got his pitch. Unable to turn it around. It's full 3-2.
Came in there with the fastball and looks a lot more settled in here in the second inning. You know, a lot of times they're good pitchers. If you don't get to them in that first inning, when they're still trying to figure things out, get fully loose, get used to the strike zone that the umpires got and things of that nature, it's tough to get them as the game goes because they get better.
Brian Babin, outstanding player and coach at Salmen. Payoff pitch to Singletary. Breaking ball beat up the middle is short. Handled by Talamo. His throw is low. And dug out for the out. One gone. Good job by Smith at first base.
Yeah, good athletic play by Smith around the bag at first to make sure they got that out.
One gone, and here's Christian Westcott, a familiar name that we know from baseball circles. When you're talking about a young man that pitched in high school in this area and then pitched Delgado and professionally, you get the idea. A nice breaking ball here for a strike to Christian, who's at 193 with no homers and 16 driven in. Oh, 1. Down a ball.
Chris Westcott calling the pitches for this Lakeshore club.
That's probably not a bad idea, right?
Not at all. I'm good with it.
Knows a little bit about it. 1-1 pitch. Nice breaking ball for a strike. Clearly, this pitcher, Baudouin, has a very good curveball.
Yes, he does, and that's the pitch that he went to when he was struggling with the fastball in the top of the first. Went to the breaking ball, got a feel for it, got in the zone with that, and then the fastball followed.
Elevates the fastball and evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Bender is high, so it's full 3-2. Busey on deck. Chris Westcott had a long professional career. Pitched a lot of innings, especially in the Giants minor league system. Payoff pitch. Fast strike. Got him looking. 2 gone. So Westcott retired. Cameron Busey will bat. Facing his counterpart.
Baudouin ran that fastball in on the inner third and kind of locked him up. Westcott just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
Busey in from the right side, trying to start a 2-out rally. Baudouin taking quite a bit of time out there. Now ready with his first. Bit high for a ball, 1-0. Not a fast worker. He'll step off. He'll fiddle around a little bit, just trying to get himself comfortable.
Trying to settle in. That's the big thing for him right now. You can tell he's still fighting it a little bit. He's trying to get the feel for his pitches.
Foul back to the screen. Challenged Busey. Had a good rip at it. He's got kind of that rocking chair delivery, doesn't he?
Yep.
And I like to call it rocking chair because he'll start slowly, rock back, and then he'll accelerate through his delivery. Always interesting to see the different combinations. There's the rock, and there's the fire. Breaking ball is a good one, and the count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, you can tell he's got a lot of confidence in the breaking ball. And that 2-2 count to Westcott, that's the pitch he went to. And usually on 2-2, that's when you're coming with your best stuff, trying to end the at-bat. So that breaking ball is obviously Baudouin's pitch.
1-2. Up the middle is short. That's trouble, and it's going to be diving stop. Great play. No chance. Base hit. Outstanding play by Talamo. Keeps it on the infield, but Busey able to beat it out pretty easily for the first hit of the game for either team. Best place on the diamond to hit the baseball. Center of the diamond.
Back through the middle. Both middle infielders got to the spot, but it was just so far up the middle. there was no way you were having any kind of chance of throwing him out over at first.
Runner at first, 2 outs. Matt Sauber will bat, the second baseman. Catcher comes out, gives some instructions to his pitcher. Short lead. One and 0. Chasing him back. Dirties the uniform a little bit. The courtesy runner at first for Lakeshore. Back to the bag. This is going to come down eventually. First baseman, pitcher, and it's caught by the pitcher. So Beaudoin takes care of business himself. A hit in the inning and one left. They've stranded 2. Bottom of the second with no score from Salmen. Time now for Traditions, presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905. Besides being North Shore and district rivals, Lakeshore and Salmen's baseball programs have a common bond. Each has produced an outstanding second baseman for the LSU Tigers. Salmen's Mike Fontenot wore the purple and gold in 2000 and 2001, while Lakeshore's Cole Freeman, by way of Delgado, is a senior on this year's LSU team. Pretty impressive coupling there. Mike Fontenot's jersey retired as we look at it hanging on the right field fence right above it. Understandably so.
Got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
1999 opening round of the state playoffs, Jesuit against Salmen. Who were the starting second basemen in the game?
You tell me. Come on, man. I got too much to think about here.
Yours truly and Mike Fontenot. There was a wide disparity in ability between the second baseman in that game.
You were just trying to get yourself linked to him in some fashion,
I mean,
right?
hey, that's what.
It's pretty good. We searched far and wide to find that footage. Somehow we found a lot on Fontenot. We couldn't find anything on the guy spelling it R-I-E-H-M. And we tried to spell it. We did a search. We tried everything. We went through Bing. We went through Google. We tried Yahoo. We tried everything. and we just couldn't find anything. I really don't understand that. 1-1 the count on Cole Jackson. Cleanup hitter for the Spartans. Just down. It's 2-1. Pretty good looking pitch there. Got a little sink on his fastball. Kind of doesn't quite drop down, but not over the top.
And that allows him to throw that slider and get some good run on it like Coach Batt told us about.
Like he just did, but again, down and in, so Jackson dictates a 3-1. Got him to chase one that was an off-speed pitch, really had him out in front. Looking fastball all the way, Jackson did not get it. Steps out, thinks about it.
Really interesting thing here, knowing that you have to sweep. Got to get that first game here today as he plunked them.
Second in batsman of the game would have been ball 4 anyway. Jackson to first base. Leadoff man is aboard for Salmen. Walks slowly toward first base. Home plate umpire making sure he gives the hitter time to shake it off. That's a veteran move by the umpire. Good move to give him a chance to get that hitter feeling better about himself. He'll come out of the game for a courtesy runner anyway, and we'll see that right here as Salmen will bring in Kenny Harbor to run at first base. So Harbor runs at first, and Bryce Nico will bat. Nico in from the right side, bunt a possibility. Again, this is a team that plays small ball quite a bit. They really have to. And there's a square to bunt, a late square, throw to first, and the runner breaks for second. Good move, he is safe. That's a great job of base running by Kenny Harbor, the courtesy runner. Knew he was too far off, Danny, and he just took off as soon as he saw the throw.
Catcher released it, he was going the other way. Heads up base running there. Coach Batt's going to come out and talk with the base umpire. As soon as he saw that the catcher was coming his way, took off to the next base, got in the dirt, able to move up 90 feet with the heads-up base running.
Interesting that he waited late to show bunt there. Definitely sacrificing, but more of an element of surprise by waiting so late. Bottom line is, you want to get it down, regardless of how you get it down. You do whatever you do to feel comfortable to do so.
And that's one thing, too, from a catcher's standpoint. Talk about all the time. Anytime you get that failed bunt attempt, it's always a great time for the catcher to look to pick.
Try to bunt it again, and again, doesn't do so successfully. So now quickly 0-2, and he'll probably go to hitting.
So many base runners at this level especially are anxious because they know the bunt's on. They're expecting the ball to be on the ground, and when a hitter bunts through it, doesn't get it down, they'll be out there on that right leg in anticipation of contact, and you don't get it, so it's a great play to try to pick behind on.
0-2 on Nico. Time called just before Busey was about to deliver. Harbor, the courtesy runner with a lead, held on by the shortstop Westcott, who peels off, pitches up, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Nico waits for the 1-2. Showed bunt, took it up and in. Knocked him down. It's 2-2. You surprised he's still bunting?
Well, it just depends on the philosophy of the coach. If he really wants to get him over, and you can use all 3 strikes. Definitely have done that before. If you really are committed to getting the guy moved up 90 feet, you're not really worried about the hitter getting a base hit, use all 3 strikes to try to advance the runner.
2-2. Look out, way up and in. And it's full 3-2. I mentioned that he drops down a little bit to deliver that fastball. It's going to have run, but if you don't clear your hips, that ball's going to sail inside. We've seen that a few times already.
Yeah, well, you saw it just now. That fastball ended up and over his head. He had to get out of the way.
Payoff pitch, chopped toward third. A bad hop. That's got to be a bad hop single, and Salmen should take the lead. No, they're going to stop the runner. Wow. The ball carried him to the foul territory with nobody out. They played it safe and stopped Harbor at third, so it has to be a bad hop single. No way you can give an error on that play.
No, that ball was hit hard, really bad hop to go with it. So Salmen with runners at the corners. Coach Babin down at third, playing it safe, setting up a big inning potentially with runners at the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, ball carried away toward the fence. Bone had to go chase it. I thought they'd send him, but again, with nobody out, fully understandable as to why they didn't, as Greg Battistella will visit the mound. Ball hit in front of the runner, obviously. Wasn't going on the play, but once the ball took that hop, he got going. Had he been running, obviously would have scored. Coming up this weekend, we'll have state softball playoff action for you at sportsnola.com. Check your listings and make sure you check out sportsnola.com to see exactly where we will be. Prep softball second round matchup coming up as part of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase this weekend. You won't want to miss it. I guarantee you the second round games will be better than the first round games if you've been following that at all. Are you kidding me?
We can only hope.
When you have over half and closer to 2/3 of your first round games being run rule games, enough said.
Watered down.
I'd say underwater, but that's my take. Chase Kitchens, the third baseman, at 3:58, 10 driven in towards short. runner didn't break. Now he does. Play to second for one. Back to first, not in time. That's an RBI, fielder's choice for Kitchens, and Salmen takes the early lead. Well, the runner at third did not break at all.
On a ball like that, he should have been gone as soon as you read contact past the mound. Pretty obvious that that was one you could score on. Good thing for Salmen, he did get to the plate, and he's got him on the board.
1-0, Spartans on top. One out, Kitchens runs at first, and once again on contact. Once that ball's middle of the diamond, he's got to take off.
He's going, absolutely.
Down for a ball to Bradley Cruz. Right-handed hitter, Cruz, the designated hitter. 191, 6 RBI. Late on the fastball, 1-1.
Good fastball there on the inner third. Came in right on his hands. It's a tough pitch for a lot of high school hitters.
Good breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-2. Now the breaking ball will break away from the right-handed hitter. That fastball will most often tail in with the way he delivers it. So that's a totally different plane and a totally different look. In and out. Runner goes in the air. Short center. Center fielder coming. He's there. He's got it. Throw back to first. And this should be a double play. And he didn't get it there in time. Wow. That should have been a double play. Runner was dead to rights.
Should have been, and I can see the Lakeshore coaching staff yelling out there, throw the ball. He just kind of babied it.
Short-armed it, yeah.
Yeah, babied it to the first baseman. Should have came up, had some momentum into the catch. Should have fired a good strike to the first baseman. Took a little something off of it, and got that big hop, which took a lot of time. There's a lot of hang time on that hop, allowing the runner to get back in safely.
2 outs in the inning. Pitch misses away for a ball. You don't want to give teams an extra out. Jordan Rushing, the left fielder, bats. 133, 2 RBIs. Runner was dead. He was caught in no man's land. This is to left, toward the line, on the run. Not going to get there. That ball's going to the fence. Can they score the run? Here he comes around third, and they're going to send him with 2 outs. Relay throw to the plate. It is in time for the out. Great throw, great tag on the relay. Beautifully done by Lakeshore. That's textbook. Inning over with a run on 2 hits and a runner stranded after 2. Spartans 1 of the Titans, nothing. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by the Louisiana Baseball and Softball Academy. For more information on membership plans, camps, clinics, and more, visit LouisianaBSA.com or call 504-733-8660. The Louisiana Baseball and Softball Academy. Here's a look at the play that ended the bottom of the second inning, Danny. This is how you want to do it defensively. Great relay. And a great throw home.
A really good job of getting to the ball up against the outfield wall, strike through the cutoff man, and then Westcott making a really nice, strong throw to the plate to get the runner. I didn't think they were going to get him. That was a good play.
Yep, they did. Really good job by Bone and Westcott and by Singletary to keep this a 1-0 game as Brett Rappold leads it off and shoots this foul back and out of play. Rappold on the top of the order with Bernard and Christopher against Andre Baudouin, armed with the lead now. That was his 31st pitch of the game. Rappold, a right-handed hitting third sacker, hitting 176, has an RBI. Big Bender sits high, 1-1. Fastball busts him inside. 2-1 now on Rappold. Look out, and the third hit batsman of the game, second by Baudouin, as he puts the leadoff man on. Hit by pitch for the second time in 3 innings.
It's always tough to pitch around that. You're kind of playing with fire at this level when you keep putting that leadoff man on over and over. But that's what Lakeshore needs. They're still trying to figure things out from an offensive standpoint. We know they can score, so that always helps your opponent when you're giving them those free base runners.
Turn the lineup over now. Jacob Bernard, who was hit by a pitch to start the game, will bat.
That's a big deal, because whenever that 9-hole hitter is leading off an inning, you really want to focus and try to get that first out. You put the 9-hole hitter on, and that brings the big guns up.
And Bernard came in at 340. In the air to left field. Coming a long way, Rushing, and he lays out and caught it. Good play by Rushing for the first out. That ball slicing away from him, and he was pretty deep for Bernard, who has 3 home runs. That's an excellent play.
Yeah, excellent play. Had to come a long way to get there. Left his feet. Made a clutch catch out there in left field for Salmen. Full sprint. Had to get on his horse. Leaves his feet. Great play out there in the outfield.
Frank Christopher walked his first time. First pitch swinging, and it's no balls and a strike. Chase back.
First time I've been to this on-campus park here at Salmen. It's a nice facility here right on campus, right next to the school. Walk out the building and have this every day. I know Brian Babin's got to be excited about this facility.
Tried to bunt his way on, and he was bunting for a hit there.
Athletic complex really here behind the school. The football stadium right off the first base side.
No balls and 2 strikes. Probably wants to go a little out of the zone here. Again, he's a deliberate worker. Very deliberate. Finally, time called. The runner did take off. But he's deliberate even when nobody's on base. That's just his style.
Yeah, that's his demeanor on the mound. That's the way he pitches. Make sure he's ready to go before he delivers the ball. We see it a lot of different ways. You see guys like this. You see guys that as soon as they get it, they're ready to throw it to the point that sometimes the umpires have to tell them to hold on. It's just up to whatever makes that pitcher feel comfortable. But the biggest thing, like we always tell our guys, is when you're the pitcher, you control the game. Can't do anything without you.
There goes the runner. The pitch is down. Stolen base. Now they're going to call it a strikeout and throw to first for the out. So Christopher out on strikes. Rappold moving up to second as he was running on the play. So he's in scoring position with 2 outs. Strikeout number 3 recorded by Baudouin, and Preston Bone will bat. Second stolen base of the game. They've had 1 caught stealing. Remember, that was costly back in the first inning when Baudouin was struggling out of the gate. Really ran Lakeshore out of the inning. So here's Bone with 22 driven in on the year. Playing the hit to the off field. Center fielder shaded pretty well over toward right center. Left fielder as well. Well over in the left center. Doesn't get the fastball. Of course, as we talked about, the dimensions, the gaps are the biggest part of this park, and the home team understands how to play its home field. Oh, 1 in the dirt. Runner breaks for third. Throw is wide. He's safe. Wild pitch. Rappel to third. This Lakeshore team is an aggressive baseball team.
Yeah, they play hard, and that's Coach Batt's thing. I mean, we know that. We saw him over the years as the head coach at Holy Cross High School in the Catholic League. His teams are going to play hard. They're going to fight. They're going to get after it. A little chip on their shoulder, so to speak. And that's the way that his guys are going to play. They're going to play hard. Thought they might have a play there, but that throw took the third baseman for Salmen to the wrong side of the bag. So they're able to move up.
Time called again. Once more, it's Baudouin. He's just a very deliberate worker. The hitters are going to continue to step out here. Orange bat in hand for Bone. Waves it high. And hits it in the air a mile high to short left. Shortstop out, left fielder in, left fielder there. And making the catch, two hands, rushing. Threat is over. No runs, no hits, a runner stranded. That's one left in each inning for the Titans. Bottom of the third coming. Spartans 1, Lakeshore nothing on WHNO. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by the Acadia Music Fest, Saturday, October 28th in Thibodaux. For the latest news on this fall's lineup, visit acadiamusicfest.net.
It's a great event down in the Thibodaux-Homer region. Everybody should try to get out there. Glad to have them on board this year as a sponsor of the showcase. We appreciate their support, and Shane Trosclair down at E.D. White helping us get the Acadia Music Fest on with us this season.
Good to have Tommy Meyer with us during the E.D. White Catholic game we had with St. Charles Catholic recently. Great guy, and we wish them nothing but big success once again this year. 1-1 now to Chad Degree, leading off the bottom of the third, hitting 200 with 3 driven in. And he bunts it. Foul. We've seen a lot of bunt attempts by Salmen, which we suggested that they would do. Playing the small game. Count goes to 1-2. Interestingly enough, they've not been able to get one down yet.
Yeah, and that's something that normally they do a pretty good job of executing. And it's something that Coach Babin has always stressed, is being able to move runners and get bunts on the ground. Obviously, he played at Louisiana Lafayette for Tony Robichaux, and it's a big part of their offensive game. So looks like we got time being called.
Time called right at the last instant as he was about to deliver.
The base umpire.
Base umpire pointing over toward the dugout. Something is on the field. Baseballs fell out of the dugout. Obviously a bag or a bucket, and they actually fell out. Multiple balls. Would not have been good if the ball would have been put in play, right? Yeah, they would have known which one it was. Swing and a miss. Good breaker. Gets Degree for out number 1.
That's the good tight slider that Coach Batt was telling us about. He showed it right there. Really good pitch to put him away.
Every time I see multiple balls on the field, I think of Leslie Nielsen and the Naked Gun. And throwing all the balls in the air at the same time. Safe! Nick Talamo bats. Grounded to short his first time. Took a ball. 1-0 pitch. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. All right, so you want to crush me with trivia? What was the famous opera singer's name that Leslie Nielsen impersonated on the field in Naked Gun when he sang the national anthem? Drawing a complete blank.
Enrico Palazzo.
Perfect.
All right. I had no help.
None at all.
I had no help.
2-1.
I could see the scene, but I'm glad we've got some people in the truck
It's comical.
that had the name.
True story now is coming out. 2-2 the count. Enrico Palazzo. Here's the 2-2. And a perfect pitch struck him out looking. Great pitch. Or is that strike 2? That's strike 2, pardon me. 2-2. I pulled an Enrico Palazzo umpiring job there.
That's a great scene. In that
It is
movie.
awesome. Towards short. Westcott's been busy. He has to hurry up here. Safe at first. Beat the wrap. Good base running by Talamo. Well, you know your leadoff hitter is going to be able to run. And Talamo just outran the ball. Westcott did all he could.
Yeah, he had to come a long way to get to it. And because of the speed, not able to make the play over there at first.
Good speed aboard with 1 out, and Joey Smith will bat.
Clean play by Westcott, the shortstop. Just too much speed there. He had to come a long way to get to that one.
And now Talamo with 13 stolen bases might want to do some running. Smith grounded to short first time. Taps it foul. Good pitch running down in the zone to Smith. Of course, left-handed hitters oftentimes like the ball down. The common thought is all left-handed hitters like the ball down. That's not necessarily true, but more often than not, it is accurate.
And a down.
Even Enrico
Down and
Palazzo
in
would say
pitch.
that.
Yep. Left-handed hitters like to get their hands out on that.
Slowly towards second. Tough chance. Everybody's safe. Got to go as an error on Sauber, because if he handles it cleanly, he's got an out at first, but did not handle it. And Lakeshore opens the door here as 2 are aboard with 1 out.
An interesting thing here with these teams knowing that they've got to sweep the opponent to be the outright district champion. You almost have to play this game like a single elimination game in a lot of ways, because you know you have to at least win this first one to have any kind of chance to get that sweep. So these teams know what's on the line. All these plays right now are going to loom large as the game goes on.
Baudouin took a strike. He grounded to short his first time. Well, it takes the pressure off, too, if you win this game, because then you're guaranteed of at least a share of the title. And it's not necessarily lagniappe, as we like to say, with that game later in the week. But as the runner breaks for third, they've got to play. The throw is there, and he is out at third. So another base runner. Secondary lead. Breaks on a ball in the dirt. Good job by the catcher, Singletary. Talamo out. This time the back-end runner advances in the scoring position, which is what you want to see. That's the second out of the inning.
Ball in the dirt, trying to move up. Ball beat him. Coach Babin thought he got that hand in there, but the umpire went with the ball getting there first, which isn't always right, but a lot of times that's what they go off of. If the ball beats the runner,
that was
that
a
out call.
tough call to make. If you had the challenge rule here, that one would be very, very interesting. We'll look at it again. As a strike call. So here we go. Did he get the hand in or not? Boy, that's hard to tell. I mean, clearly there was a tag, but was it on the foot after the hand got in or not? Runner breaks. Swinging a foul down the left field line. It's foul. So hooking foul. Baudouin made a bid. Smith will return to second.
Well, runner was breaking on a pitch there. If that would have fell in, that was an easy run with the kind of jump that he had. He was really motoring.
Very aggressive baseball employed by both teams early in this one. Spartans with a 1-run edge, trying to add to it here with 2 outs in the third. Baudouin shoots it into right field. That is a base hit. Runner rounds third. Here's a play at the plate on the throw. It is in time for the out. Second assist for Lakeshore in the game. Christopher accurate to Singletary. He slaps the tag on Smith. Inning over. We go to the fourth. It's still 1-0 Spartans over the Titans. On the west bank of St. Charles Parish, a short commute to New Orleans. Park Lakewood Apartments. For the second consecutive inning, a Salmen inning ends with a play at the plate, Danny.
Yeah, you got to take these chances. 2-out hits are hard to come by, and Coach Babin trying to get another run across. And tell you what, Lakeshore is doing a nice job. Coach Banastella must be very proud of the way that his team is executing cuts from the outfield and throwing these guys out. Catcher doing a nice job of making sure that he has control of the ball before going to make the tag. A lot of times catchers will try to start the tagging process before they really have control of the ball, and they'll miss it or it'll come out. But Lakeshore has really done a nice job with those plays from the outfield, throwing runners out at the plate today. That's big. That's big-time plays in a game like this when you can throw guys out at the plate.
That's 3 base runners that Salmen has lost in the bases in just 3 innings.
That's definitely the difference in the game right now. Could be easily, if they don't make those 2 plays, 3-0.
4th inning begins. Clark Rush starts it against Baudouin, who's about to make his 40th pitch of the game. And a bender is high to start Rush off. One-0. Dips low, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. He struck out 3. He's walked 1. He's hit 2. Has Baudouin. Rush trying to get something started for Lakeshore here in the 4th inning. And it's 2-1. Salmen High School, great tradition of athletics. Mentioned the baseball state championship in 4A in 1996. And then, of course, a state finalist in 4A in 1998. This is toward third foul. Their basketball program, both boys and girls, has won state championships. Jay Carlin's done a phenomenal job over an elongated period of time with the boys program. The girls program, as you know, most recently was elite with Kalani Brown in tow, now at Baylor. Always deep into the playoffs. And then, of course, there's their football program, which had an unbelievable run in the mid-90s, early 2000s. Pitch is high, and it's full 3-2 on Rush under Bill Stubbs. Led this program to 3 state championships while he was here. Jerry Leonard continuing the tradition now at Salmen High School. Payoff pitch to Clark Rush from Baudouin. There's a fly ball straight up. Short left center field. Left fielder there. And putting it away is Rushing, who's been busy. That's out number 1. Just third put out in the last 4 batters. And here's Jacob Singletary, who grounded to short in the 2nd inning.
Settling in, making pitches, allowing his defense to make plays, getting those fly balls. Always nice when you get those pop-ups and fly balls to your infielders and outfielders. It's usually a pretty easy play.
Singletary took it high. You said it at the time when Lakeshore ran into that out in the 1st inning. To help a struggling pitcher look out, he could settle in. That's what's happened. Chased one, it's 1-1. Gaining confidence all the while.
Well, you know, Skip Burtman, when he was at LSU, used to always talk about the inevitable 2 in the 1st inning, because the pitcher's out there, he's trying to get used to the mound. He's trying to have command of his repertoire, of his different pitches that he wants to throw. He's getting used to the umpire's zone. So there's a lot of things that go on in the 1st inning for a pitcher that sometimes with your better guys, if you don't get to them then when they're figuring it out, they only get better and they get tougher as the game goes on.
And now 3-1 to Singletary. He was 3-2 on Rush. Got him. Falls behind here. Westcott is on deck. And walked him. Singletary let the umpire make the call. Trots to first. Likely to get a courtesy runner as the catcher, and he will. Lakeshore will use Sebastian Gates. So Gates will run at first for Singletary, and Westcott will bat. Westcott struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Westcott settling in. Gates the runner. Gates has 4 stolen bases and 5 attempts. And again, this pitcher very deliberate with runners on base. Go to first, runner back. And the hitter doing the right thing. Stepping out twice already. You don't want to be stuck in that batter's box for any substantive period of time, do you?
No, if the pitcher takes too long, you want to get time from the umpire. Make sure you get the time from the umpire, though, and then get out of there. But, you know, pretty interesting is that Chris Westcott, when he played, he worked as fast as you can work, and his son's in the box right now. He gets a pretty deliberate pitcher in Baudouin.
And the pitch, down a ball. Jackson able to keep it by his feet to prevent the runner from advancing. Greg Battistella flashing about 1,000 signs down at third base. I mean, that's about a 20-second litany of signs there. If the hitter looks away while he's still flashing them, well, you know the indicator already happened, and so did the sign, right? Towards short, Talamo to second, 1. Relay to first, wide, not in time anyway. Fielder's choice will allow Westcott to run the bases with 2 outs. Shortstops and left fielders have been very busy men in this game.
Yeah, they have a lot of balls getting hit to the left side of the diamond today. Another look at this one. Grounded to short. Good feed. Turn a little slow, not able to get him back over at first.
Cameron Busey will bat, singled his first time as Westcott gets chased back to first. A lot of moves over there that we've seen. Westcott 4 stolen bases in as many attempts, and yet another throw. 1-run game, trying to keep that tying run. Where is that? So here we go. Battistella showing just a battery of signs. Look at that. I mean, he's just, that's very complicated stuff there.
I don't know if they're going to be able to pick up the indicator.
I just got it. He just said, hey, hit away. And he did. Well, let's talk about a guy listening to his coach. Great sign giving by Battistella. I mean, you can't give a better signal than that. Look at how his hitter obeyed and delivered perfectly.
He gave the single sign. You can give the double, the triple, the 3-run homer. It's a lot of signs you can give in that third base box.
As a coach, you wish it was that easy, right?
Yeah.
Busey is 2 for 2 in the game now. So Busey has both hits for Lakeshore, and that gives the Titans a 2-out opportunity with Matt Sauber sauntering to the plate. Popped out to the pitcher his first time. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. Find a gap somewhere, take the lead. It's that simple. You have that sign in your repertoire?
Oh, yeah, double in the gap. We got that.
Okay.
We got that.
All right. Good breaking ball strike call to Sauber. Lakeshore has stranded at least 1 runner in each inning thus far. They've lost a runner on the bases. Salmen has stranded 2, and they've lost 3 on the bases. So each team has had chances. And strike 2 fastball. So Baudouin jumping on top of Sauber. No balls and 2 strikes.
Coach Batt would welcome a clutch double in the gap right now. Big gaps here, as you mentioned, 370 to the gaps here, so you can get a ball out there, you can run for days.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. Good hook. 4th strikeout recorded by Baudouin. No runs, no hits, 2 stranded. They've left 5, bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Salmen on WHNO. Here's a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule brought to you by Park Lakewood Apartments. And we wrap up our regular season as Brother Martin takes on Jesuit live Thursday evening from John Ryan Stadium at sportsnola.com. Watch it tape delayed Saturday at 11 a.m. on WHNO TV 20. Great rivalry renewed. The Crusaders and the Blue Jays. Always fun to watch. We'll be there. We hope you'll be watching. Pitch is down and in to Cole Jackson from Cameron Busey. His 40th pitch of the game. It's 1-0. Nico and Kitchens to follow, and it's 2-0. Jackson was hit by a pitch first time, but once again they're trying to work him in.
Trying to come in on his hands. They've missed twice here in this at-bat. He's a good-looking player. Watching his power, not letting him get extended.
Fast strike makes it 2-1. Jackson hit by a pitch, stole the base, scored the only run of the game. Actually, he didn't score it. Courtesy runner Kenny Harbor did back in the second, but he was responsible for reaching base, and he swings at this one and fouls it back and out of play. Count even at 2-2. Busey doing a good job. His defense has really supported him well, but right now Salmen the edge. Got that single run on the second. It's held up to this point. Breaking ball, a dandy. And a good job of snaring it by the catcher Singletary for out number one.
Yeah, good breaking ball there to put him away. Catcher holding on to it. That's a big first out.
That is the first strikeout recorded by Busey in the game. And he is a strikeout pitcher. Salmon's done a good job of putting it in play. Bryce Nico singled his first time. And a little foul tip behind the catcher. And umpire, it's 0-1.
Starting to run it in.
Again, that's that
inner third.
That's that delivery he has. His release point enables him to really run that pitch into right-handed hitters.
Yep,
you don't see that very often.
That arm side run on the fastball.
And he comes back with a hook that goes away from him. Well, when he pitches 0-2. All right, Danny, so tell us a little bit about what you mean by arm side.
Well, he's a right-hander. So when you talk about arm side run, it means that the pitch, the ball is going to run to the side that he's releasing it from. So in this case, he's that right-hander, and that fastball is going to naturally run into a right-handed hitter, away from a left-handed hitter.
Busey did not have a strikeout entering this inning, and he's fanned two straight, the 4 and 5 hitters in the lineup. Pretty impressive. And here's Chase Kitchens, who drove in the run with the fielder's choice grounder, and he gets hit by a pitch. So that's 2 hit batsmen by each side. Kitchens aboard.
21, Bradley Cruz.
And that will give Cruz a chance. Let's take a closer look at the motion of Busey, what we're talking about. It's not quite over the top. That would have been a little bit more over the top than others would have been. Sometimes he's around his shoulder level in terms of being parallel with his shoulder when he releases the ball. That time was more a little bit closer to his ear, I would say. When you say over the top, you're talking about clearing the top of your head, creating a downward plane. Check swing foul, it's 0-1. And of course, with that being the case, that's why everybody wants tall pitchers. You get that downward plane from an elevated mound. Well, you make it tough on hitters, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And it just looks like the ball jumps on you from a hitter's perspective. Those big, tall guys, they get that good stride and release out in front, that ball's jumping on you.
Up for a ball, 1-1. In my lifetime, the guys that certainly stand out in that regard, because when you're thinking about the big guys, you think about the ones that throw hard, that intimidate you to death. That would be J.R. Richard and then Randy Johnson. I mean, guys like that. Huge, who threw extremely hard. This pitch hits the batter. So, again, right now, he's losing command of that runner. And it's easy to occur when you have that arm slot the way it is. If you don't get through the pitch, which means straight ahead, clearing your hips to your target, then it's going to run in on the hitter.
Yep.
And it's done 3 times in this game.
Yeah, that one got him on the sleeve. Didn't get him by much, but it did get him.
3 hit batsmen, 2 in a row, creates a 2-out opportunity for Jordan Rushing, and he doubled to left his first time. Runner was out at the plate trying to score on that double. Doesn't get this diver. Good pitch down in the zone. No balls and a strike. Rushing, just 2 RBI on the year. He nearly had his third back in the second. Doesn't chase the breaking ball. It's 1-1. bluff towards second by Busey.
Hitting those guys has kind of built a little bit of an inning here for Salmen. Has caused the trouble, self-inflicted. See if Salmen can make them pay.
Good pitch of the knees. It's 1-2.
They've gotten clutch 2-out hits. Just that Lakeshore has done a nice job on the relays and throwing guys out at the plate to end innings.
1-2 pitch. Look out. Almost hit another. Sailed up and in. It's 2-2. And it's the release point. It's really getting him. Mechanics just not quite there right now for Busey. That's a bunch of pitches that have run way in on hitters.
No action in the Lakeshore bullpen.
Fastball missed away. Just off the plate. Now it's full 3-2. And what that means is both runners can take off. This becomes a big pitch in the ball game with 2 outs.
Right here, especially if you can get something out into the gap. Great chance that the runner from first could
Kitchens
score.
and Cruz take off. Pitch is strike 3 called. And Busey is out of the jam. Struck out the side with a couple of hit batsmen mixed in. 2 stranded. They've left 4 after 4. 1-0. Salmen on top. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 35 years. Transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. It's on to the 5th inning. 1-0. Salmen on top. It's 1 run on 4 hits for the Spartans. No runs, 2 hits. An error for Lakeshore. Ball missing high. 1 ball and no strikes. The count on Brett Rappold, who was hit by a pitch, stole a base his first time up. Top of the order to follow. Against Bodine, who's been very good, and he pumps a strike through there, and it's 1-1. Bodine at 58 pitches. And looking very good.
Yeah, he really did a nice job of settling in, getting himself going. Pitching in this 1-0 tight ball game. District championship on the line.
Out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Rappold.
Looks like Lakeshore is getting some action going in their bullpen.
Here's the 1-2. Down and away. To Rappold. Lakeshore, for those not aware, located in Mandeville, in an area that was undeveloped and starting to develop as we speak. Roller to the pitcher, easy chance, runs over toward first and underhands it to Smith. 1 gone. Jacob Bernard will bat as we flip the order. Bernard has been hit by a pitch, fly to left. Bullpen action for Lakeshore as we speak. That's Christian Westcott. So Westcott in the game at shortstop, warming in the bullpen as his team bats inside for ball 1.
Well, these coaches know what's on the line in a 1-0 game, just trying to make sure that you got your arms ready to go, especially with Westcott playing shortstop. He could have to enter the game from the field, so they're taking this opportunity to get him loose.
Bunt. Tough chance. Beat it. Great job by Bernard as he got it halfway between the catcher and the pitcher That's a perfect bunt. Too much speed to get him. And a base runner and a good one for Lakeshore, their third hit of the game.
Now batting number 1, Brent Christopher.
Brent Christopher bats. He's walked and struck out. Really good bunt here, Danny.
Yeah, got it in no man's land. Too far for the catcher to get to, too far for the pitcher to get to, and there's your bunt single.
Everyone feels typically that you've got to get the ball toward the line if you want to bunt successfully, and while that typically will get it done, it's not easy to do. When you can get it that way, measured perfectly in terms of distance, and you have speed, you can beat it. When you think about Ricky Henderson and Lou Brock and people like that over the years, we had a lot of bunt singles. A lot of those were not down the line. They were simply far enough to make somebody move to get it. With their speed, they simply beat it.
Far enough where the catcher just had to take so many steps. Couldn't get to it in time.
Somebody like Billy Hamilton today, same way. It's a big part of his game. One of the reasons he's in the majors. Not a great hitter, but showed bunt, slap bunt in play, but pulls the bat back and took a ball. So slug bunt, slap bunt, call what you want. Slash, a lot of descriptions for that play where you show bunt early, pull it back. If you have a quick bat control, you can pull it off. Another throw to first. Salmen checks runners quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're keeping an eye on them, especially in this situation. That's, the 1-0 game. That's a tying run over there. So trying to do your best to keep him at bay, keep him out of scoring position.
Strike is called of all the teams we see on an annual basis. Brother Martin probably does that more than any other team that we see. It's philosophical oftentimes when you get runners at first base. That's clearly a philosophy.
Well, it's part of pitching. It's part of playing defense. Definitely have to account for it, or guys will just take off at will.
Another throw to first, chasing the runner back. So they're paying a lot of attention to Bernard.
The other thing that works real well, Ken, is just simply stepping off and looking at a guy. Just letting them know that you're paying attention to him. You haven't forgotten about him.
And yet another throw. So he's certainly listening to our commentary here. Bernard with 13 stolen bases. Good idea to keep him close.
They're trying to tighten things up so that if they would get a hard bunt back to the mound or to the third baseman, might give you some more time to get the lead runner.
Showed bunt. Runner got some liberties, but nobody at first. He knew that. So the pitch missing away makes it 2-1. That's good base running by Bernard. You have to understand where the defense is positioned. First baseman charging on the bunt that was shown. Second baseman converging toward first, but with nobody there, you can jump off as he did. That's awareness by Bernard. And yet another throw.
It's like we talked about earlier. You got to be really careful on a failed bunt attempt as a base runner. You don't hang out there. It's a great play for a catcher to pick off of.
Runner took liberties there. Snap throw to first. He's back. Christopher looking to put it in play here. He's walked and fanned, as mentioned, and trying to create an opportunity. Defense is straight up for him. Again, Baudouin deliberate. 2-2. Runner goes, pitches away. It's a breaking ball. The throw will never get him. When he's going to get that breaking ball, there's no way you're going to throw Bernard out
No,
there.
it's really tough. Very, very difficult on a catcher to make the play close when you pick a breaking ball to run on. Most of the time, that's when, when I'm looking to run, when I'm in that third base box, you're trying to get a feel for pitches, paying attention to counts and what guys are tending to do, tendencies. And try to pick those breaking ball counts to run on.
Tying run at second now.
You do your base runners a big service.
With one out and a 3-2 count, Christopher has 22 RBI. And that's 3 stolen bases and 4 attempts this afternoon for the Titans. Again, very deliberate. Left center field, long run everyone, and the left fielder has been busy. Rushing another play, returning to second, Bernard, and 2 gone. Well, you need that ball on the ground if you're the offense, but a lazy fly ball won't get it done. And now Preston Bohm will bat. He struck out, fly to left, and he has 22 driven in on the year. Baudouin has made his pitches all afternoon when he's needed to. Trying to continue that trend here. And gets ahead in the count on a breaking ball off the end of the bat of Bone, 0-1. Seeing this orange bat quite a bit here this afternoon. Easy to spot.
It's a bright bat.
It's really bright. On a bright afternoon, a bright bat. Squint your eyes a bit. Bone trying to use it to barrel it up. Pops it up into short right. Right fielder on. He's there. He stumbled, but he caught it. So Bentley makes the catch, inning over, no runs a hit. And Lakeshore strands its 6th runner. Bottom of the 5th coming, 1-0 Salmen on top. If you are interested in purchasing a DVD copy of today's game, send an email to prep@sportsnola.com or call our offices at 504-681-0120 during normal business hours. You will receive a reply with more information on purchasing DVDs. Many people do. We're glad to oblige. We're glad you're watching, and we thank you for doing so. As DeGree takes a strike call from Busey on his 56th pitch of the game. DeGree struck out swinging in the 3rd. Down and out. 1-1. 4 strikeouts in the game for Busey. 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the order, Talamo and Smith to follow. Shallow around the outfield. Hooked him and struck him out. 1 gone. So all of a sudden, Busey's become a strikeout machine. Of the last 7 hitters he's faced, he struck out 5.
Well, he's going to that slider here to put a lot of these hitters away, and they just not adjusting well to it. That pitch is really eating a lot of these Salmen hitters up right now.
Nick Talamo, infield hit in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. Third baseman cheats in, wrap hole. 1 ball and no strikes. Wind has been blowing toward left throughout. Has not had an impact thus far. 1-1. As they continue to blow toward left. Not as hard as earlier, but still enough to help a ball hit high in the air.
Definitely
swoops down, it's 2-1.
Feels like baseball weather out here today. It is a little steamy.
2 balls and 1 strike. And it's 2-2. Smith on deck, only run of the game scored in the 2nd. Produced by a fielder's choice grounder off the bat of Chase Kitchens. The story otherwise has been the pitching of Andre Baudouin along with the pitching of Cameron Busey. And some good defense by Lakeshore. Toward the hole, that's going to be a base hit to left. Talamo snuck it through for his 2nd consecutive hit. Speed aboard with 1 out.
He did a nice job there of keeping his hands back. That was a breaking ball that just kind of hung out over the plate. Hanging breaking ball, and he was able to keep his hands back and guide it out in the left field for a base hit.
Joey Smith is grounded to short, reached on an error. And And now we'll watch Talamo very closely in a one-run game. Both teams have been very aggressive. No reason to believe they won't be here. 13 steals on the year. Draws a throw, gets back. Remember, he was caught stealing earlier in this game when he tried to go to third on a ball in the dirt. And look out, yet another hit batsman, the fourth hit by Busey, will put runners at first and second with one out.
He tries to pitch inside. Coach Batt told us that. We talked to him before the game.
He said he would hit a lot of batters, and he's done just that.
He will hit guys because he likes to come in. And that's what happened right there as he tried to run it in on the lefty.
2 on, 1 out. Now you get Baudouin with a chance to help himself. Singled in the third. Runner was out at the plate on that base hit to right. He's 1 for 2. Ground ball, third base, and step on third. Throw across the diamond, safe. Rappold able to get the force play. Had he handled it cleanly, probably would have had a double play, but he gets the out at third.
And knocked it down, and lucky for him, the ball was right on top of the base. All he had to do was pick it up, and he was basically standing on third base for the fourth out. Takes him over right on top, right there. He was in good position to pick it up and right on top of the bag for the force.
Get a runner at first base for Salmen. Runner looks like James Benson. Going to run at first. And here's Jackson. A ball with no strikes. Jackson has been hit by a pitch, stole a base, scored a run, struck out. Toward the hole, a base hit to left. Here's another runner for the plate, and he will score without a play. And the Salmen Spartans take a 2-0 lead on a 2-out RBI single by Cole Jackson, his 9th RBI of the season.
Clutch hit there by Jackson. Not throwing that guy out. He had a head of steam. Coach Babin waving him around. It's a big run on the board. When you've got a pitcher's duel going like we have in this one, every run is huge. As he comes around, able to score run number 2, hustling all the way to get to home plate.
2 on still with 2 outs, and here's Bryce Nico, who singled and struck out. Good scoop by the catcher Singletary. One and one. Get the feeling that another run would be gigantic in this game, the way Baudouin is pitched. One ball and 2 strikes. Nico with 9 RBI on the season. Stays alive. Here it comes. Toward the left side. Third baseman smothers it. Good play by Rappold to get his man at second. A run scores in the inning on 2 hits. 2 men stranded. They've left 6, and after 5, Salmen leads it 2-0. Tower, an iconic structure that I've seen many, many times over the years. Stands tall here in Slidell, where Salmen leads Lakeshore by the score of 2-0 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Taking a look at the power ratings in Class 4A, heading into today, Benton in the number 1 spot with Brobridge. That's Brobridge second, Tioga third. West Washington, North DeSoto, Lakeshore occupying the 6th spot. Salmen down at 24. But thus far, the Spartans have had the better of it today. Getting late, Clark Rush wants to start something for Lakeshore. 71 pitches for Beaudoin, who delivers. And a breaking ball gets him ahead. Rush is popped to second, fly to left. Singletary and Westcott will follow here in the 6th.
Well, Lakeshore needs to really be focused on at least trying to get on the board here in this inning. If they can get on the board and cut it to 2-1, it gives you a little bit better chance in the 7th.
Hung that one. It's off the pitcher's glove to short. Nobody can handle it. Base hit. So a leadoff single by Rush, and now the tying run will come to the plate. Shortstop Chalamo rushed to it. Looked like he tried to barehand it, Danny, and wasn't able to come up with it.
See if Coach Batt might pinch run here. Get a little more speed on the bases. Looking at his lineup card, is that one right back up the middle. The middle infielder was moving to where the ball should have been after the deflection, before the deflection rather, and just couldn't adjust to get back to it.
Singletary's walk grounded out. Laid off the breaking ball, but it's a strike call. 0-1.
Well, that's his best pitch. We talked about that earlier. That's his go-to pitch, and he's going to try to live and die with it here late in the game.
And now no balls and 2 strikes as Beaudoin gets ahead of Singletary.
Beaudoin uses that breaking ball to actually set up the fastball in a lot of situations here. Makes that fastball look a little bit more lively after they see that breaking ball getting flipped up there.
Double play in order. Singletary trying to get something done. 0-2 the count. Here's another. Showed him the fastball, 1-2. And another. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's the breaking ball that Lakeshore has run on quite a bit, but down 2 runs in the 6th, they can't afford to run into any outs here. Although if you get to 3-2, I would bet that they would run. On 2-2, another to Singletary and a swing and a pop-up right side. First baseman there, foul territory, and making the catch is Smith. That's a big out for Beaudoin because the runner holds first with 1 out. Westcott will bat.
Yeah, it's a huge out there. Runner stays at first. Got the double play still in order to get you out of the inning.
Christian Westcott is struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice. Breaking ball over but high. On 1-0. Beaudoin to the plate. Doesn't get the fastball. Westcott now 1-1. Conversation ensuing here. Westcott getting some instructions from a familiar person.
Westcott to Westcott.
You think? Father and son relationships. It was kind of like, that's not why I showed you to hit. Come on, man.
It's not an easy deal.
Not at all.
It's not an easy deal.
And he's like, hey, Dad, you were a pitcher. 1-1. Breaking ball's a dandy, 1-2. Beaudoin showing one of the better breaking balls we've seen this season.
Yeah, he's got a good feel for it. Good movement. Tying a lot of these hitters up with it.
1-2. Breaking ball missed away, 2-2. Again, breaking balls come in all shapes and sizes. Big ones, small ones, hard ones, soft ones. Sometimes it's the subtle movement that matters. Sometimes it's the big movement that befuddles hitters. The idea is to miss the barrel of the bat, one way or the other. On 2-2, fastball got him. Westcott retired for out number 2.
Well, that's just such a good sequence there. Breaking ball, and then you run in that fastball with a lot of life right in on the right-hander's hands. Went to the fastball and just blew it by him. You know, you're showing that hitter breaking ball after breaking ball, and then you're able to place that fastball with a little life on it on the inner third.
Strikeout number 5. And
tough
now
to handle.
Here's been the best hitter in the game for either team, Cameron Busey. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Trying to help himself here. Breaking ball strike, taking all the way. This is the same guy that started the game and couldn't come near the strike zone. And as we said many times, if you give him a chance to settle in, look out. He's done just that, and he's been outstanding. Wind has died down, not blowing as hard now as it was earlier. Pitch on the way. Chased a breaking ball, and he's ahead 0-2. And when you're ahead in the count, if you're in command with your pitches, you can mess with hitters.
Well, the thing, too, looking at the playoffs for Coach Babbitt and his Salmen team is, you know, that opening round is single elimination. So you've got an arm like this, you can go beat somebody on the road.
No balls and 2 strikes. Bo Dwine is ready and pitching, and a breaking ball got him. Great pitch. Inning over. 6 strikeouts for Bo Dwine. Bottom of the 6th coming. 1-0 Salmen on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. HSA baseball, the new normal, the new world order, as it were. 12 brackets, 7 classes non-select, 5 select. Non-select first round, that's a single game, so it's a knockout round. Round of 16 quarterfinals in most brackets, best of 3. That's different. Pitching depth matters. Semifinals and finals, of course, that's knockout. Winner go home. And that's May 10th through the 13th at Fresh Park in Sulphur. Exciting time. Just don't like the diluted, expanded, convoluted format. That's all.
I just think it was so fun and competitive to see the private schools and the public schools together, and you got some of those dream-type matchups throughout the bracket, and it just gave a real sense of excitement to the bracket. And now the front part of it, it'll get exciting as it goes, but unfortunately the front part of it is not nearly as competitive and exciting as it used to be.
Chase Kitchens will start the bottom of the 6th. The Salmen tries to get some insurance, up by 2. Cruz and rushing to follow against Busey, who delivers inside. That's his 72nd pitch. Kitchens has been hit by a pitch, grounded into a fielder's choice. Busey has fanned 5. He's hit 4 batters. Has not walked anyone, and he missed away 2-0.
I will say this. Whoever, because it looks like Salmen will probably be on the road, unless they would move up substantially here pretty late. Whoever pulls Salmen, you may have a home game, but you're going to have your hands full.
And it's 2-1 as he was swinging.
You know who they're sending out to the bump. Same guy we're seeing here today, and you're going to have your hands full. That is not going to be an easy opener for whoever that higher seed is.
Figures to be on a full rest period as well. Look out, another hit batsman. Wow, that's 5 in the game by Busey. I don't know that I've seen that any time in recent times. We certainly haven't seen it this year, but that's certainly the case here. It's highly unusual that you'd see a pitcher hitting 5 batters in the game, but that's happened here today. Once again, it gets away from him as it runs in and just plunks him right in the back. So again, 5 hit batsmen. You just don't see that very often, do you?
There's a good look at Coach Babin trying to strategize his way here in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to see if he can get an insurance run. Trying to get to 3. That would make it really, really difficult on Lakeshore with the way Baudouin's pitching.
We're going to get a pinch hitter here. Kenny Harbour is going to pinch hit for Bradley Cruz, probably to bunt. In this situation, when you see a pinch hitter, you got to think it's a better bunter. Barber pinch hitting, and he does square, and of course he bunts it foul. So clearly up there to try to bump the runner up as they try to get that huge insurance run. As I mentioned earlier, a 3rd run would be gigantic in this game with the way Baudouin's pitching. It'd be hard to get 2 off of him, but to get 3 would be nearly impossible. Always insert the proper word, nearly.
Because we've seen some wild things happen over the years.
Oh, listen, when the game we had last year had to be the one that was the biggest surprise ever, which I'll talk about in a moment. There it is. The bunt's hard, though. Looked at second and still has time to go there. Had he gone there right away, they might have had time to turn a double play, but Rappold hesitated initially and then was told, hey, you got the play, and he took it for the out.
Ball was bunted hard at the 3rd baseman who was charging. You know, ultimately, when you talk about sacrifice bunting, if you're trying to move a runner from 1st to 2nd, you would like to try to go up the first base side, make the 1st baseman handle it. That pretty much ensures that you're going to get that runner down to 2nd. If you bunt it hard at the 3rd baseman like they just did, that's your best chance for them being able to go get the force out.
Here's Rushing. Take a strike. Rushing's doubled and struck out.
And then also, if you're trying to bunt a runner from 2nd to 3rd, you'd like to bunt it towards the 3rd baseman, make him come play the ball, opens up 3rd base, and you're able to get the runner advanced.
Wouldn't chase, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, the one that I was referring to earlier that still mind-boggling. We did a game last year where we were at UNO, I think it was radio, where Blair Frederick had a 7-1 lead in the 7th inning and lost.
Yep.
Unreal. Never, ever, ever would have imagined that. Game's not over till it's over. The play will be across the diamond as the runner was going. So aggressive baseball gets Barber into scoring position. 2 outs and opportunity here.
It's a big run. Big run sitting out there at 2nd base right now. If you can stop it or score it, it's going to be big as far as the 7th inning is concerned.
Chad Degree batted twice, fanned twice, once swinging, once looking. Has the 2-out opportunity here. Doesn't get it, 0-1. Towards short. Westcott surrounds it, has to get rid of it quickly, and got him. Here's play by Westcott again, who shined in this game defensively. No runs, no hits, or runners stranded. 7 left in the game. Last chance coming for Lakeshore, trailing 2-0. A lot of great moments have taken place at the Salmen Football Stadium, where 3 state championships have been won, and some great players have shown their trade. Great tradition here at Salmen High School. Baseball program trying to build on that and doing a good job today. They need 3 outs to secure at least a share of a district championship. They lead Lakeshore 2-0. And trying to go the distance, Andre Beaudoin has just been terrific. He's matched that number on his back so far, giving up no runs. And he's only yielded 4 hits. And he'll deal with the bottom of the order. Matt Sauber, Brett Rappel, then the top of the order, Jacob Bernard here in the 7th. 86 pitches for Beaudoin. He's walked 2, hit 2, and struck out 6. Sauber is popped out and struck out. And the first pitch of the 7th inning. 1-0. Sauber would love nothing better than to get on base to start something here. 1-0, and it's 1-1. Sauber taking all the way. Well, this isn't Sauber, this is a pinch hitter. So this is actually Austin Raley. Austin Raley wearing number 2, pinch hitting. So Raley the hitter. Raley takes a strike on a good hook. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Austin Raley, 250 batter. He's only batted 4 times on the year. 1 for 4. Austin Raley in the hole, 1-2. Beaudoin pitches. Breaker way outside and way low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Greg Battistella going to the bench trying to find something here. An offense that has been great all year long, but not this afternoon, thanks to Beaudoin. And the 2-2 pitch. And it's full. 3-2. This becomes an important pitch in the game.
Oh, it's huge. If you can get that leadoff man on, it brings a tying run to the plate the rest of the way. Get 2 runners on, it gives you the sacrifice bunt as an option.
Chased the breaking ball in the dirt. Throw to first for the out. Would have been ball 4. Beaudoin had the courage to go to the hook out of the zone and got Raley. Strikeout number 7, and again, the big breaking ball fooled him.
Breaking ball down, he chases it. That's his pitch. We called it early. You could see that was the pitch that was going to be his go-to choice throughout the course of this ball game. It's been a really good one, really good breaking ball, and it's really kept Lakeshore at bay.
Rappold 0 for 1, took a fast strike. Rappold has been hit by a pitch, grounded to the pitcher. 2 outs away is Beaudoin. 0-1 the count.
Shows you the confidence that he has in that breaking ball to throw it right there.
And now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Rappold. One and 2. And the 1-2 pitch struck him out swinging with a breaking ball. Strikeout number 8. Beaudoin 1 out away from a masterpiece. And it's Jacob Bernard who will bat. Bernard has been hit by a pitch, singled, stolen a base. He's 1 for 2. Trying to start a 2-out rally. Went around on a fastball up. Did they call it or not? Yeah, he went around. I mean, that's a good call. The appeal was to the umpire at first base, which is amazing because he doesn't have an angle at all, but it sure looked like a swinging strike from here. The home plate umpire did not rule it. As the replay shows you, it absolutely was. First base umpire does not have the angle, but clearly he saw it as a swing. Greg Battistella correctly argues because, again, with a 2-man crew, you don't have the functionality to be able to see that clearly. But they got it right. Here's the 0-1. And now it is 0-2. Beaudoin a strike away from his 7th win of the year and his biggest win as a Spartan. Looking for his 5th complete game of the season. kicks, and he fires. And a swing and a ball hit into center field. Should end it. Center fielder there, and making the catch is Degree. And the Salmen Spartans have clinched at least a tie for the District 8-4A title. And they got a dog pile going on as a result of a big 2-0 win over Lakeshore by winning at least a share of the District 8-4A championship here this afternoon. 2-0 victory for Salmen. Back in a moment with our postgame show on WHNO TV 20. Salmen wins a share of the District 8-4A championship, defeating Lakeshore by the score of 2-0 this afternoon. Let's check in with Danny Ream with the winners. Danny?
All right, thanks, Ken. Here with head coach Brian Babin and winning pitcher Andre Baudouin. Coach, congratulations, at least a share of the district title. You defended your home field.
Yeah, that was big. You know, Andre's been our bulldog all year, and today he stepped up to the plate. You know, didn't have his best stuff early, but settled in good, and was able to mix in the breaking ball real well, and you know, it kept him off balance.
Your kids played really hard. He did an excellent job, and had a couple guys thrown at the plate. It could have been a better score than it was.
Yeah, we play aggressive. You know, we tell them that all defensive players, they all got to make the plays. So they made the plays on those ones at home, and so you tip your hat and you go play defense on the next inning.
All right, Andre, today's winning pitch, you did a great job. You had your breaking ball working. Got off to a little bit of a shaky start. You got the big play from your catcher when they tried to move up at third, and then you really settled in.
Yeah. I really didn't have my stuff no location today, but I got lucky a couple times. Yeah, the defense really worked for me out there.
Okay, well, you've got a share of the district title. What would it mean to you guys to try to sweep this series and be the sole champion of the district?
Yeah, that would be way better.
All right. Well, it was a good day for Salmen. They defended their home turf. Ken, back up to you.
Thank you very much. Once again, a victory for Salmen, 2-0 over Lakeshore. Back to put a wrap on things in a moment on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. Salmen defeats Lakeshore 2-0. Totals of the game: Salmen 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 7 left. Lakeshore no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and they strand 7. Winning pitcher Andre Baudouin, 99 pitches, 5th complete game, 4-hitter, 7-3 with the wind struck out 8. Cameron Busey, tough luck loss, drops to 5-2. An hour and 46 minutes to play. Salmen wins a share of the District 8 4A title, beating Lakeshore 2-0. Thanks for joining us. Our high school baseball coverage wraps up with a Catholic League matchup between Brother Martin and Jesuit. Watch it live Thursday at 7 on SportsNola.com or catch the rebroadcast Saturday at 11 on WHNO TV 20. Once again, your final score: Salmen 2 and Lakeshore 0. For Danny Ream and our entire WHNO crew, I'm Ken Trahan saying thank you for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.